Hi, this is Joanna Hennon, your soul-inspired business mentor. And today I want to talk about goals and intentions, all that stuff that you want to achieve, and how to set these goals and intentions from your most powerful self, from your soul self. Because that's really the missing piece for making them happen in a way that's easy, in a way that flows, in a way that's kind of just magical and just comes together. All the pieces of the puzzle suddenly come together. So I wanted to talk to you about this today. And this mini training is for any of you who identify with the word change maker, awareness shifter, change bringer. For those of you who know deep down inside that you're here for something big and important, and chances are you've known this since you were a child, that you were put on this planet, that you chose to be in this life for a really important reason, to make some kind of change in the world, to create a shift. So you likely have a big message to share with the world. And you have a big part to play in changing the world's consciousness, the consciousness of the earth. So that's you. And this is kind of why your goals and intentions are so super important, because they're not just about you. They're actually about creating the change in the world that the world now needs, and that you agreed to create before you were born into this life. So if you're still listening to this, then this resonates, which is awesome. I'm really thrilled to know that. And it means that although you identify with these big words and these big concepts and these really big ambitions, maybe you're not seeing proof of that in your reality at the moment. So maybe you're not seeing the success that you would think would be linked to ambitions as big as changing the world, right? So that's why I wanted to talk to you today about your part in all this and how to set your goals in a way that will move you forward towards those big ambitions, right? Those big soul purpose ambitions. Um, so let's talk about what you can do, actually do, to experience some of the success that you are right to think should be linked to your really important role in changing the consciousness of the earth. So we're going to make this really specific. I'm looking down on at my notes. That's why I'm looking down. We're going to make it super specific and talk about goal setting. So it's now October 2016. Maybe you're watching this in October. Maybe you're watching this in November. That's still all good. The concepts will apply, of course, even after that. And we're in this, but right now it's a really important period for goal setting. We're in this period where we are being invited by lots of different sources to check in on what we wanted to create during 2016, how we wanted to end the year. And we're kind of in this space of evaluating, how far we've come, and also deciding what's still possible. So which of those goals that we have on our lists for this year are still possible to achieve? Now, I invite you to right now just pause this video and to write down what you'd still love to achieve by the end of 2016, or how you would like to end 2016. What do you want to be celebrating? So just close your eyes for a minute and imagine yourself on December 31st saying, okay, the year's over, 2016 is now over. What have I achieved in the past 2 or 3 months? That is really amazing. Like, I am ending the year in this certain frame of mind. Maybe it's that maybe you want to feel super successful or super visible. Whatever that is, just pause the video now, dig out your goals for the year if you want to, or just do it from memory or from what you want to create right now. But just take a moment right now to pause the video and to write down what you want to do, or where you want to be, or how you want to feel on December 31st of this year of 2016. And when you have that, look at your list and ask yourself why you haven't made these things happen yet. Right? So these things are likely not new. They are probably things that you wrote down either at the start of the year back in January or at some point during 2016. So why are they still on the list? Why are they not done yet? So maybe you wanted to create a course or some passive income, and and now you're just going to say, oh, I didn't have the time to do that, right? Or maybe you wanted to end the year with a steady stream of clients, and you feel like you're not even close. And why? Why are you not? Why do you feel that you're not close? Are you beating yourself up for not doing enough marketing, or for not knowing enough to be able to attract these perfect people, or for somehow being different from the people that you've observed have already achieved this thing that you want to achieve? So we see this all the time online, these perfect examples of what we want, right? So what are you telling yourself are the reasons for why you haven't achieved these things on your list, or this thing on your list? So whatever it is that's coming to you right now is probably not the truth. So all those things that you're telling yourself that basically boil down to, I am not good enough, or I am not enough in some way, none of those things are true. That's illusion, and that we leave behind. We don't want to take that forward. So I will tell you today that the reason why people fail to achieve goals that they have set is that they're kind of approaching the whole goal setting thing from the wrong perspective, the wrong way up or down or whatever. So most people just sit down and write down a whole list of stuff that they want to do or be or have. So I have some examples here from my past list as well. Write a book, create more passive income products, launch a podcast. Oh my God, launch a podcast has been on my personal list for like 3 years now. Get more clients, earn more money, be more successful, be more visible, be interviewed by famous people or websites, right? Or on websites, rather. Websites can't really do the interviewing, can they? So this is how we approach goal setting, and this is how we've been doing it, and then we kind of measure ourselves against the standard of these goals we've set that we have not yet reached, and it all like doesn't feel really good, It's kind of like we're setting ourselves up for failure because we're not approaching making that list, setting those intentions from the right space, because we forget several things. And I have four things that we forget that are really, really important when we're talking about goals. And these are, number one, you have a soul path and purpose that you chose before you even got here. Right? You are not here randomly. You are here for a reason, and your higher self knows this reason, and your higher self knows this plan. So have you considered how these goals, these mini goals that you have set for this short period of time, 2016, how they fit into this soul purpose, this bigger plan for why you're here and what you're meant to achieve? So in all my work with energies and the spirit guides and now ascended masters, in all my work, the really common thread is that we as people, living here in this time and space, setting our goals, doing our thing, we do not think big enough because we approach everything from the perspective of our human self, and we are so much more than that. You are so much more than that. You are so much more than meets the eye. You are a powerhouse. You are a being of light. And this is not the space that you probably have approached your goal setting and goal achievement from. And that is one of the issues with why some of those things have not happened for you yet, those things that you want. So that was number one. Number two, the second thing that we forget is that you are a powerful soul with control over everything in your reality. So we control everything, we create everything through the power of our thoughts and words. And what influences those thoughts and words? Thoughts and words are based on the beliefs that we hold about how the world works and how business works and how money works and what's fair and what's not fair, and judgments we have made in the past, and all those things that are kind of part of our programming that's kind of running underneath the surface that we don't address enough. And those things are what drives our actions and our thoughts and our words, which is what we use to create. So ask yourself, do you spend regular time with these beliefs, tackling these beliefs, identifying what you believe to be true and transforming it into something that supports your goals better? Because if you have these really, really big goals and you have a belief that, that only a small proportion of the population that you have very, very specifically defined can actually get success or reach success, and then there's a problem, right? So I had a belief that I didn't even know it was there. It came from my family, that people who were not born into wealth and success could reach wealth and success, but only if they cheated. So you can imagine that when I set myself some big goals, and I was just like, why am I not reaching them? Eventually, when I uncovered this belief, I was like, oh, well, of course I'm not reaching them, because I don't want to be considered, I don't want to cheat. First of all, I don't want to be forced to cheat. And second of all, I don't want to be viewed as a cheater, right? So this was stopping me at a deeper level from taking the action that I needed to take. It was, even though I wasn't aware of the belief, it was still driving my decisions. So the second thing that we forget is that those underlying beliefs are really, really important. And are you addressing them? Is my question to you. Now, don't freak out or anything. I'm going to give you some really simple steps to take after I explain what I want to say. So you'll be fine. You'll see how it all fits together in your particular situation. Don't worry. The third thing that we forget is that your business is a vehicle for the change you are meant to bring to the world. Your business is not like just a thing that you create. It's not a thing that makes you money. It's not any of that. It's a vehicle through which you spread your message. So as a change maker, as an awareness bringer, as a consciousness shifter, if you have been called to set up your own business, then that business is a vehicle for what you are meant to bring to the world. And since everything is energy, your business is also energy. So the third question I want you to consider is, do you think of your business as a vehicle? And do you respect it as a vehicle? It has an energy of its own. It has a consciousness of its own, which means that you can commune with it. You can co-create with it. You can allow your business to support you. At the basic level, it means you can ask it questions and it'll tell you stuff. That's what it boils down to. Like, you are not alone. Right? So is this something that is a regular part of your goal setting as well as your goal achieving? Is this co-creation with the energy of your business and seeing your business as a vehicle for the change you are bringing into the world? And the fourth thing is something that I could talk about for ages, but I won't, is inspired action. We forget. We don't consider enough whether what we're doing with our days, with our weeks, with our months, whether all that stuff that we're busy with, is that just busy work or is it soul-inspired action? So when you're setting your goals, when you're, busy achieving your goals, breaking them down, all that kind of stuff, are you following soul inspiration? Are your actions soul inspired? Which means inspired by your higher self, inspired by your soul path, inspired by the purpose that you have in this world. Because it's then that they will have the results that you want. It's then that things flow. It's then that things fall into place because you're doing what you're meant to be doing, what you agreed to be doing, what you came to do. So it's kind of like these pieces of the puzzle, and a different way of looking at your business and what you're creating and the goals you're setting, right? So since this is a mini training, I wanted to give you something actionable. So I invite you to pick a goal, to decide today, right now, just right now, decide what is it that you want to achieve by the end of the year. Pick one for the moment. Just pick one. You can do the same process with the others as well. So pick one thing. So let's say your goal is to have a steady stream of clients. All right? We're going to use an example because it's just easier to illustrate. And there are certain, just a couple of really small steps to this. So pick a goal is number one. Number two is look at your goal from the perspective of your soul self, your higher self, your soul path and purpose, right? So how does your goal relate to your soul path? You don't actually need to know exactly what your soul purpose is because we usually don't know that. This is not something that's shown to us. It's kind of, it unfolds, right? This is why we talk a lot about the process and not your soul purpose as a goal. It's a process. So you probably don't know much about your soul purpose. So you ask, how do I know how this goal fits into my soul purpose? Well, there is one thing that we established at the beginning of this video, and one thing you do know. You do know that you're a change maker. You do know that you're here to shift consciousness, to raise awareness of a different way. You're here for something bigger, right? So you've accepted that. So how does your goal, the goal you picked, how does that fit into this bigger soul purpose? Or how can you look at your goal from the space of your expanded self? Well, if your goal is a steady stream of clients, that's not the actual goal, right? That's the small thinking goal. The actual goal is for you to be regarded as an expert or a leader. And if you're regarded as an expert or a leader, then the people you want to serve, not even you want to serve, the people you are here to serve, the people you came here to serve will be attracted to that leader expert energy in you. Or maybe your goal isn't to have a steady stream of clients, and maybe a different way of phrasing it would be to serve as many people as possible, or for your message to reach as many people as possible, right? So the point is that when you look at your goal from the perspective of the soul self, of the expanded self, it becomes bigger and more exciting and more expansive. It's not this kind of narrow tunnel of, I need more clients. I need more clients. How am I going to get more clients, right? It suddenly expands into a goal that really serves the world, which is why you're here, why you're still listening to me. So that's the first and second step, or well, maybe we can count it as one step. So set a goal and then revise it, maybe, reframe it. That's the word. Reframe it, to look at it, to see it from the point of view of your higher self and how it fits into your soul purpose and path. So now that you have your goal, ask yourself this: do you have the mindset to achieve it? So if your goal, going with our example, if your goal is to be regarded as a leader and an expert, and in that way to attract a steady stream of clients, ask yourself, what do you believe about leaders and experts? What do leaders and experts have to be? What traits do they exhibit, you know? What do you think of them? And what do you think of yourself as a leader or expert? Are you good enough? Do you know enough? Right? What do you believe about money coming to experts? All these sorts of things those are the beliefs that you hold that will influence how you show up to reach that goal. And of course, it'll also influence how that goal shows up for you, or how the results show up for you, right? If your reframed goal was to share your message with as many people as possible, What are your beliefs about that? What are your beliefs about talking about your message constantly? What are your beliefs about talking about your message constantly without the expectation of money? Right? There are a lot of things that we can get attached to that are kind of on this underbelly level that will influence how you approach achieving your goal and how those results show up for you. So that's number 2. So the first step was to set your goal and then to reframe it from the perspective of the soul. The second step was to examine and transform your mindset to make sure that your mindset, your belief system, supports what you want to create, that it's big enough, expansive enough, that it's not limiting your progress. And the next step, the third step, is to take inspired action. So ask yourself, what inspired action can you take towards your goal? Connect with your higher self, with your guides, with the energy of your business, either one of those or all three, or, alternate them, whatever, and ask, ask something like, what one thing can I do or be today to be seen as a leader? I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee. Because my throat is dry. So what one thing can I be or do today to be seen as a leader? How can I best serve today? Right? And that, whatever answers you get to those questions, that's your inspired action. So it might not be, post in a bazillion Facebook groups. It might be to share your story in 2 groups, or to just send a really good newsletter, a really powerful statement. And then the rest of it is just repeat number 3. Repeat the inspired action. The inspired action is really important every day. But it becomes really easy when you have that anchor of knowing how your goals fit into your soul purpose, and that knowing that you are an expanded being, then that inspired action every day becomes a lot easier. So, to recap, you have the power, right now, you have the power to refuse to take your goals for 2016 and just copy them over to your 2017 list. Now, who hasn't done that, right? You have the power right now to refuse to do that. Do these 3 things that we discussed. So name your goal and reframe it from the soul perspective, examine your mindset, and take inspired action. And you're on your way to creating what you were born to create. You are here for a reason. So this is not the time to quit. This is not the time to say, I only have a few months left of this year, I'll do it next year. This is not the time to say, it's too late. This is the time to tap into why you're here and to create the next step from that space. Because you're here for a reason, and the world needs your work, and the world needs your message. This is the fact that you have this desire to create this business and the desire to share this message that you have with the world. That's not accidental, right? It's not accidental. This is the whole reason behind why you're here at this particular point in time in this lifetime. It is not the time to quit. This is the idea that I'm leaving you with. You have 3 steps to take. Please let me know how you get on. So if you're watching this through my newsletter, then reply. If you're watching it in my Facebook group, then leave a comment. Let me know what you do with this information. As always, the teachings from this soul space, from this expanded space where we are all powerful souls. This is not just information. This is for you to do something with. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the idea now that this is not the time to quit? This is the time to tap into what you're here to create and to take inspired action. I leave you with that, and I cannot wait to see what you create next.